The Garden Report is brought to you by FanDuel, the exclusive wagering partner of the CLNS Media Network.
Hey, Bobby Manning here. Welcome to a Garden Report back at TD Garden with Josue Pavon here and the Celtics. Warm welcome back from the fans, an awesome crowd here for this one, and a win over the 76ers. Of course, no James Harden, no Joel Embiid, so expected win, but one where I think they saw some good things, and as Joe Mazzulla emphasized during the week, went with a starting lineup that's tough to glean from. Derek White starting with the Jays, as well as Al Horford and Kristaps Porzingis. Not obviously the lineup we're going to see on opening night with Jrue Holiday coming off the bench for a up-and-down performance where defensively I thought he was really good, 3 steals here, but struggled to shoot from the field. I believe he started 2 for 10. That's what he finished at, actually. So overall, your impressions of Jrue, and why did he come off the bench, you think?
Well, Mazzulla talked about how he just joined the team last week. I mean, the trade happened, the day before media day, so maybe there's a little bit of that. I mean, some of the guys are just much more comfortable with each other because they had been practicing or at least having pickup games the weeks prior. So I think that had a little bit to do with it. But honestly, the way I looked at it when I first learned that he was going with that starting 5 was what was it going to do, or what was it going to mean for Derek White? And I mean that in 2 different ways. One is how he's going to handle a defense like Philly, right? When he's the guy who's controlling the offense and bringing the ball up and doing all that stuff. And then also how he's able to perform when he has guys like Porzingis in the mix, right? He's never really had a lineup like that. When you add Porzingis and Horford, of course, you got the Jays out there as well. And seeing how he handled that, I think that's part of it as well. If you're Joe Mazzulla, you want to see how he does with that type of, in that scenario, in that situation. I thought Maxey did a good job of pressuring him at particular times. He forced a turnover. He forced White to take a shot that maybe he didn't want to take. And I think those are the kind of reps that I think will help White as a player overall, but specifically as a point guard, because he's going to get a lot of those reps. I mean, I don't know, like you said, I don't see him as being the starting point guard of this team. I think that's a job that's going to go to Jrue Holiday when we start the regular season, but he's got to get much more comfortable in that role because he's going to have to he's going to have to run the offense a lot when you don't have Marcus Smart around anymore, and you don't have someone like Malcolm Brogdon. It's an encouraging start for Payton Pritchard, especially when you think about the extension, and now he has that window of opportunity to essentially play for as many minutes as he wants. It's really up to him at this point, where that wasn't always the case. But I do think this is a big spot for Derek White, all defensive guard who obviously wants to become a better player. But specifically, if you're the Celtics, you want to see if you can make him a better playmaker on the offensive end.
Yeah, for sure. And Holiday didn't get a ton of opportunities to do that. You did see White bring up the ball with the first unit,
right,
which I think is a little different from what we've seen. I asked Jalen and Jason how Jrue's arrival would impact the offense. Would he be that point guard, the ball-dominant guy, or are they going to continue to kind of be focal points? And they both said it would be a mix. Brown actually compared how they use Holiday to how they use Smart, which involved quite a bit of ball time, but mostly off-ball play. Right. And that's what you saw here in this one. Playing with the second unit even, he took that off-ball role to Pritchard, who scored 26 points on the ball in this one. And it led to some inconsistent results for Holiday offensively. You love what he did defensively. You saw the potential, and they even tried out the zone that we've all been waiting for a few minutes there in that second half when they got Holiday out there with the starters. But overall, I was left saying, I wish I saw Holiday with the starters a little bit more, because that's who he's going to play with. That's who he needs the reps with. And he just looked out of sorts offensively, at least with that second year. Now, defensively, he's always going to be impactful, and you saw the potential of him playing off the ball and helping, and switching, and doing all those things tonight.
Yeah, no question, and I think that's going to be part of what Celtics need out of him as well, to blend in with that second unit, help guide those guys, especially on nights where they might not have it. Pritchard doesn't have his shot falling. Sam Hauser, I know it's preseason, but put up a goose egg in this one. You hope that's not going to be the norm for someone like him, because I think he's someone else that has an opportunity to create a role off the bench, just being that sharpshooter who can, give you some of the effort on the defensive end, because this second unit has to be those guys that kind of stop the bleeding or just sort of maintain the flow of the offense. And Jrue Holiday has a lot to do with that. But yeah, I would like to see him be the starting point guard of this team. But it's cool to see him in the mix with those guys and see how he's able to affect the defensive side of things when he's with the second unit.
Here's Holiday talking about his first game in Boston.
How'd it feel to get out there and game with the squad and see how it was?
Yeah, it felt good. Crowd's crazy. The energy in the building is crazy. First preseason game, so it was fun to get out there and just kind of get my feet wet.
Is it kind of weird to think that a lot about everything that's happened, I guess, over the past week?
I think I'm over it at this point. Just trying to focus on the season, trying to get acclimated, and honestly go out there and have fun. So all the trade stuff I think is kind of past. I've been going through a whirlwind here, just trying to figure out names and plays and schemes and all that. So it's been fun though.
What is the hardest part of acclimating with a new squad like that?
I think the squad, that's actually fairly easy. Really smart players that make the game easy for me. I know I got a lot of wide open shots and got to knock those in, but a lot of smart players, a lot of great talents here, so that's probably the easiest part.
The CLNS Media Network is powered by FanDuel. Sign up at FanDuel.com/Boston and get in on the action with $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place a $5 bet. That's $200 in bonus bets, win or lose.
So you could tell he just wanted to get comfortable tonight. He just wanted to get some shots up. He loved the crowd, soaked in the environment for sure, especially coming off the bench.
Him and Porzingis,
So I'm sure we'll see him back with the Stars before long. In fact, he told me later in that conversation that it's just going to naturally happen throughout the course of the preseason here as he gets more involved. I wouldn't be stunned if it's tomorrow and they make him go a little bit longer with some other guys sitting against the Knicks.
Right.
But for you right now, seeing what you saw tonight, what makes most sense most nights from a starting lineup perspective?
From a start line perspective, I like the double big. I like the sort of that intimidation factor to sort of set the tone.
The double block was awesome.
Yeah. I mean, that's like we hope that's something that can happen more often when you have those guys out there. But I also think it's a great way to display what these guys can do on the defensive end of the floor, especially when they're both out there. Where you look at the course of their career, most of the time they were sort of like the anchor of that front court, you know. And I feel like now that you have another guy, if you're Porzingis, you have someone like Horford that can help you. And if you're Horford, you have a younger guy in Porzingis who's 7'3", and remember media day, he couldn't get. Not that he was shocked that he was how big he is at 7'3", but he's like, man, no, he's like a real 7'3" center.
Horford said he might be taller.
Right. Like he's not one of those guys who is like, oh, they listed him higher than. No, he's a real 7'3", as he put it. And I think Al knows exactly what that means for a team like this.
Yeah, my only concern though with the double bigs, and that's the direction I'm going to, is leaving White on the bench. Does he play a little more tentative there? Obviously going to get keyed in on more in a second unit without both Jays out there and maybe Porzingis on the bench for some of those lineups. So we know it's probably going to be by committee.
Right.
That's a challenge. I don't think a lot of teams do that regularly. And Horford, it'll be a change for him coming off the bench if that is the direction they go. We'll see how that evolves as the preseason progresses. Of course, Joe told us not to look too much into this lineup here tonight, so we'll save it for another day. But we only have to wait one more day to see this team play again. Knicks Celtics tomorrow. Right. We'll both be down there. We'll both talk after the game. John will be back on postgame as well, so I'm sure everyone's excited for that. Check out tonight's postgame show on CLNS Media. Celtics All Access for more segments and inside look at the team here today. And we talked about Payton Pritchard's extension earlier, remote on the postgame show stream. So go check that out.
Yeah, check us out.
Until tomorrow, Josue Pavon, Bye Man. This has been the Garden Report. Celtics beat the Sixers in the preseason opener.
Ever wish you could navigate the betting field with the confidence of a pro? Enter Odds Are. They're not a sports book, but they're the sports betting advisor you always needed. It's like having a playbook for smarter bets right in your pocket. I've been absolutely loving the experience, and I think you will too, especially since Celtics All Access listeners get a 30-day free trial. Elevate your game day and join the smart betting revolution. Go get it at oddsr.com/Celtics. That's oddsr.com/Celtics. With the busy fall season already in swing, you might be looking for wholesome, convenient meals for jam-packed days. Factor, America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit, can help you fuel up fast with chef-prepared, dietitian-approved, ready-to-eat meals delivered straight to your door. You'll save time, eat well, and stay on track with your healthy lifestyle. Too busy this fall to cook? Want to make sure you're eating well? With Factor, skip the extra trip to the grocery store and the chopping, prepping, and cleaning up too, while still getting the flavor and nutritional quality you need. Factor's fresh, never frozen meals are ready in just 2 minutes. So all you have to do is heat and enjoy, then get back to crushing your goals. Looking for calorie-conscious options during the busy season? Try the delicious dietitian-approved Calorie Smart meals with around less than 550 calories per serving. This September, get Factor and enjoy eating well without the hassle. Simply choose your meals and enjoy fresh, flavor-packed meals delivered to your door. Ready in just 2 minutes. No prep, no mess. Head to factormeals.com/newsfeed50 and use code newsfeed50 to get 50% off. That's code newsfeed50 at factormeals.com/newsfeed50 to get 50% off.